Hello. So today we're going to look at Adobe Firefly. It's a generative AI app created by Adobe, and basically it allows you to create professional quality graphics using only a text prompt. So let's go ahead and log in and go to the desktop. Okay, so here we are at adobe.com. The URL is firefly.adobe.com, and essentially if you use your Grace and credentials, it should allow you to log in. If not, you may need to contact the IT department, have them add you to the Adobe list. But regardless, you have access to it. So go into the web and go to firefly.adobe.com, and you should be able to reach this page with no problem. Essentially, there are a lot of different things you can try. You can create pictures from scratch. You can add backgrounds, you can take away backgrounds, you can add different text effects, you can recolor pictures based on a color scheme, you can add text and create graphics, and you can create vector graphics, which if you are not familiar with that, that's Adobe Illustrator. Those are images that you can expand or make basically as large as you want, and they won't ever pixelate. But what we're going to do today is basically text to image, because that's the one that everybody seems to be interested in. Go ahead and click on the generate button, and it will take you to another page and allow you to type in a prompt. So down here at the bottom it says describe the image you want to generate, and so we're going to do steampunk cabin in the woods fantasy forest. Okay, now let's challenge it a little bit, see what we get. So once you've typed in your prompt, you can make this as detailed as you want, but you don't want to get too detailed with it. Then hit generate, and it'll give you 4 options. Now while it's generating over here, you can change the aspect ratio of your picture. You can change the different styles that this will take. You can upload a reference image, so if you want to upload a picture that you kind of like the style of, it will take that into consideration, and then you can pick the different genre of art style that you want to use. So here's what we've got so far. They're fairly similar, but you'll notice there are also some differences. So we could modify our prompt if we didn't like that. I'll add an elf in the foreground. Let's see if that changes things. And you can just keep modifying your prompt and regenerating until you receive the results that you're looking for. Alright, so there's an elf. I guess that's an elf. Looks kind of elfy. And like I say, you can pick the picture that you like. You can modify it. You can add things. You can take away things. You can change the style. You can remove the background. You can apply filters. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You can add text. Basically, you can modify these as you like them. You can download the image. Now, this is where you'll want to. This is where you want to go when you're done. You can download this image. You can copy it. You can move it over to Adobe Express, which is the basically the online version of Photoshop. You can save it to a library. You can submit it to the community. Mainly, what people are going to want to do, however, is download it. So if you click the download link, you're going to, now this is the important part for educators. Promoting transparency in AI. Adobe is committed to promoting transparency in content generated by AI. And so what's going to happen is they're going to invisibly watermark this picture with, and I think it's a sentence that says, this content was created using Adobe Firefly AI. And basically what it is, it's inside the metadata of the picture. It's easy to find, though. It's easy to read. You can open it up in Photoshop or pretty much any other image editing software and look at the metadata, and it will tell you that this picture was generated by AI. So there's no way that anyone can claim that this picture was their original work, because in fact it is not. It is generated by AI. So I'm going to leave that on just so I get reminded, and I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And now my picture is downloaded, and if I go and I'll look, whoops, let's scoot that over there. Then I want to have this, and that's what I ended up with. So with just a few seconds of text, and it's a very high resolution picture. If I go up to 100%, whoops, sorry, that's 100% right there. So this is a very high resolution picture, suitable for inclusion into a graphics game or basically just about anything. So like I say, this is a very easy way to get good quality graphics without really doing any work. So there's the good and the bad of it. But it's very simple. You just create a text prompt. Ultra-modern starship in a star field in space. And so it generates. And then there we go. You can change the styles. You can make it look different. There's all kinds of ways that you can edit these pictures once they've been created. So essentially, that is Adobe Firefly in a nutshell. Now, the other thing about Adobe Firefly that's interesting is it's also built into Photoshop. So you can do these things in Photoshop itself and then actually edit the picture more in the Photoshop desktop version after you've generated them. You can just go into Photoshop. I'm not going to go into that in this tutorial because it's past the scope of it, but essentially there's a place to put in text prompts and it will generate pictures for you. And then once that has happened, the pictures are available to be edited in Photoshop just like any other graphic would be. And so Photoshop has access to Firefly. Also Illustrator, if you're familiar with the graphics program Adobe Illustrator, it has access to Firefly. And so it allows you to create vector graphics instead of bitmap graphics, but basically it's the same process. They just take a prompt and interpolate from there. Also After Effects, if you're familiar with the Adobe Special Effects program for video, it has also incorporated a lot of the Adobe AI model into itself. You can generate a lot of footage in After Effects that doesn't come from a camera. You can create animations and video graphics in After Effects, and essentially then you can edit them further once you have them in the program. So the Adobe Creative Suite has gone all in on AI, but in each one of those instances they're very careful to watermark the content that you create in visible ways with the fact that it's created by an AI. It's not perfect. I suppose it's possible you could edit those the metadata, but I believe it would show a footprint. So essentially, it's as good as it gets. It's what's going to be required for any sort of AI. Basically, otherwise, it's just plagiarism. Well, plagiarism's already running rampant, but it will get worse as the AI model improves and the AI content gets more and more and more like real-world content. It's important that we differentiate between what's been created with AI and what is original content, particularly in an educational environment. But anyway, Adobe AI is an exciting new program. It allows you as a creator to do some things that maybe you wouldn't be able to do as just using your own native talent. But at the same time, there are some responsibilities, and you're required to to tell people that you used an AI. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, please let me know. whiteR@grayson.edu.